Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another Quickfire season review. It's Crewe we're doing next, and I'm delighted to be joined by Ant Evans, Crewe fan, a big podcast listener as well, which is great to have. How you doing, Ant? Because yesterday we're recording this on Sunday, and Crewe didn't do very well yesterday in a game against my side, Oxford, 6-0 defeat.
I think didn't do very well supporting it nicely, James. Hello to you and obviously all the other D3, D4 listeners. Yeah, I think I'm still in a bit of mourning and scratching my head after that performance yesterday. It was, I just can't believe the turnaround from that on Monday. But yeah, we move on.
Let's jump into the questions then. So, Crewe Alexandra back in League One this season. How have you performed against expectations?
So a lot of people and a lot of the pundits always had us down for relegation this season. I never thought that would be the case. I know that you said that, but a lot of the other teams, and obviously, when they have, their analysis, they always tipped us to go down or be in a relegation battle. We've been nowhere near that this season. That's what I thought as well. So I would say that my own expectations, I think we've met them, but I think in terms of the overall analysis from other pundits, I think we've exceeded them by being nowhere near a relegation battle this year.
Yeah, completely agree. Who was your best player? Who's been the best player you've had in the team this season?
So I think you've got the normal ones of obviously Wintle, Kurt, but I think they've obviously just continued on. But I think from the best player from us and overall progression, I think was either a toss-up between Ollie Finney or Owen Dale. And I think Owen Dale probably just nicks it because he's put Daniel Powell out of the team completely. They were battling between, you didn't know who was going to start each week, whereas now Dale starts pretty much every week, and his goal return, along with Finney, has been fantastic. So I think those two, and I think obviously Ollie Finney's been out for a while with his broken leg as well, so that might set him back a bit. So Owen Dale for me, I think he's been really, really good this season.
Yeah, another one of your youth products, which you're famed for. Very good to see. Who's been the most surprising player this season?
I think Ollie Lancashire.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the season, him and Eddie Nolan were nowhere near the first team, and a lot of fans have got a lot of affinity for Eddie Nolan. There's never really any explanation, and Ollie Lancashire was also one that you got the senior pros who were nowhere near the team with no explanation. So previous season he wasn't very good. Swindon fans warned us about him, and he never really got a run in the team. And when he actually got into the team, because he was trying to impress, I think he was a bit too over-enthusiastic and just didn't put any good performance in. So for him to actually then come in halfway through the season in League One and form a really good defensive partnership with Omar Beckles and actually play well and be consistent was completely out of nowhere. And I don't think anybody saw that coming, and a lot of people have actually said, obviously not from yesterday because no one played well yesterday, but I think a lot of people then said, actually we might be worth another year extension or a year contract. That's how well he's done.
That's good to see. Who's your best signing?
Mika Mandram.
Yeah, I thought you'd say that. I think he's been impressive, hasn't he?
Omar Beckles has been really good as well.
Yeah.
But I think just to replace Chris Porter the way he has and to come into that team, and he's done everything. He's been the all-round complete forward. His actual hold-up play, bringing others into play, but then his goal return. And I think if you look at his goal return from previous seasons, it's not been as good, whereas I think he's come in and been absolutely fantastic. So, yeah, definitely.
I agree. He's been very good. Which opposition players impressed you the most?
So there's two, really. I think Harry Anderson for Lincoln is absolutely fantastic. I think he's very underrated as well.
I'd agree. I think he's a good player.
We've glad to see the back of Lincoln this year because they've beat us 3 times, and we haven't laid a glove on them. They've been fantastic. So I think Harry Anderson really impressed me with every single game, and I also think Jordan Graham as well. I think he's a fantastic.
Who, funny enough, today has been linked with the move to Lincoln, which is
exactly, and I think that probably just shows why and what he does. I think I was always impressed with him as well.
Yeah, no, he's been good for a while. It's good to see him injury free. He's had those issues, hasn't he? Which team has impressed you the most this season?
Funnily enough, Lincoln. Like I said, we've just played him 3 times, and there just seems to be a gulf in class there when you just look and go, okay. Yeah, they're fantastic, and we never laid a glove on. They played us off the park, which for us, with our footballing style, the way we play doesn't happen very often. And yeah, well organised, well drilled team defensively as well. as well as going
Shocking to
forward.
think that people who co-host my podcast thought they might finish 17th.
I think obviously the way that Lincoln run in Appleton as well, I think also very good. I think also in terms of one particular performance, I think our away game at Peterborough, they absolutely blew us away. I think the pitch was a bit of a factor for him, but just when you looked at their attacking talent that they've got in there, Jordan Clark-Harris, Smodix, Joel Ward, Siriki Dembele, I think they once again, it was a golfing class, and one particular performance, Peterborough really impressed me. So it's no surprise that they're vying for the automatics.
They've been very, very good this season, and I expect them to go up, actually. Right, so I've forgotten the question. That's terrible. Worst team. That's right. Worst team that you've played. So I was just thinking about Siriki Dembele's goal yesterday. It's too good.
Yeah, it was good for that, wasn't it? Yeah, but that's obviously why they're up there, aren't they, as well? So yeah, very, very good player. And we actually kept him quite quiet in our home game, so it's actually good to see him actually see what all the fuss is about. Worst team is Northampton, no shadow of doubt. Second one
to say that, yeah.
There's just nothing to him. I think obviously last season you had that bite, you had that you it wasn't pretty, but you knew what they were doing and it was effective, and you think, right, okay, it wins. Whereas this season you just didn't see that, and they just didn't put any sort of a fight, and we won at a canter. We didn't need to get out of second gear, and I think every other team we've sort of played this season has had some sort of bite about them or some sort of fight, whereas the twice that we played Northampton you didn't see that.
No. Your most used formation?
4-3-3.
Same, yeah. 4-3-3.
I think that's been apparent from when Dave took over. We did try and switch it to 4-4-2 to try and get Mandron and Porter within the same team, where we were on a bit of a losing streak. So I think Dave tried to mix it up a little bit, but he's gone straight back to the 4-3-3, and I think that's what we'll keep on doing because it's effective.
It's done well, yeah. What's your worst moment of the season?
Well, funny you should say that. Well, yesterday, obviously, it was an absolute shambolic performance. 6-0 at home against Oxford. And I've obviously said before we started recording, it was the fact that we just didn't see any fight to you.
It was a generous performance, and it was poor from what I saw of you beat us at the Kassam Stadium. It was really poor.
In the COVID Classico. So I think just that, just the no fight, the no desire, 3-0 down, you'd think, right, Dave Artell's more than a few choice words, second half, come out and actually take the game to you, but it didn't. It was another 3 goals in quick succession, so it was shocking. I think notable mentions as well were the Burton home defeat 3-0, and it was the time obviously when Burton were on their miraculous escape from the drop. Once again, we didn't put a glove on him. But I think also what goes under the radar is the 3-3 draw in Rochdale, and you think, well, why 3-3 draw? It's because we were 3-0 up at half time and let a 3-0 lead slip. So I think those are the three, but yesterday is definitely up there, and it's still quite raw as well.
I won't let you dwell. What's the best moment of the season been?
I think in terms of overall performance was probably the Peterborough home win. At the time, they were top of the table, going really high. No one really gave us a chance either. I think everyone had us on our acca to obviously lose, and the performance we put in was absolutely fantastic. 2-0 home win really kept Peterborough at arm's length, and we played fantastic football. It wasn't a fluke that we won that game, and Darren Ferguson said after the match that obviously the better team won, and fully held the hands up for that. So I think just overall in terms of the performance and the fact that they were top at the time and flying quite high, I think that home win was the best moment of the season.
Indeed. And what have you missed most about attending matches in person?
Just the overall social interaction and also the atmosphere. So obviously when you're watching a game on iFollow and you score a goal, you've got thousands of other fans there, shouting and cheering with you. You'll high five a person that you've never spoken to before, and you'll never speak to him again. But that moment of sheer joy and elation, you get to share that moment with other people. Whereas at the moment, you're on your own in your living room, just going, "Yeah, great, all right, okay, well, that's
That's it, yeah.
That's that sort of thing. And then also the social, you know, before the match, you're watching the early kickoff, you're in the pub, having a couple of drinks, talking about obviously the current state of the football, and then afterwards as well. Whereas at the minute, like you said, literally open your laptop, that's your match day experience.
And early, I know, but expectations for next season, maybe?
I can't tell you because it all depends on our recruitment. We all know now that the beginning of the end is coming in terms of this golden generation for academy products staying within this club. So
yeah, they're all going, aren't they?
Yeah, NG's obviously gone. Pickering's obviously gone to Blackburn. We expect Kirk to go. I don't expect Tommy Lowry to be there. We've also got a lot of players out of contract in the summer, such as, you know, Omar Beckles as well. So we've got a real summer of high recruitment and a lot of people leaving. However, I think we're in a good place because we've got significant fees for those players. We're not going to get players with our budget at that same level, but they haven't gone for nothing. We've got funds coming into the club, and obviously with the COVID-19 pandemic, it's good that we're actually getting some funds into there so that we can actually try and build a squad. And also, it's not going to come as a surprise to David Artell or Kenny Lunt that this is coming either. You know, they've known this fact that Wayne Wintel's not going to sign a contract extension. They know what's going to happen. So their recruitment under them has been fantastic, and I trust them again. It's just that how much are we going to get in and how many players are actually going to go?
A lot of uncertainties for Crewe then, a lot of uncertainties, in fact, for a lot of teams heading into this summer. It'll be quite unique, I think, I have to say. And final question, sum up your season in 3 words without swearing.
I've got 3 for yesterday's performance, which would contain 3 swear words. But in terms of the actual season ourselves, I've gone for entertaining, frustrating, and solid.
Good. And that's a pretty good 3 words used to sum up Crewe this season. I hope you've enjoyed joining me. Thank you very much for your time, Ant. Really appreciate it. Appreciate your interaction with us on Twitter and obviously listening to our podcast. Ant Evans, and where can we find you on Twitter, by the way?
Ant Evans 88, and thanks once again, James, for all the work that you and the other lads do. I think it's really key during this, like you said, with that lack of social interaction with other fans and other people during this. It's really good to see that you guys have still continued to do that. So it's great stuff.
More than welcome. I'm just happy that we've got this great community where we all interact online and talk about proper football, you know.
Cheers,
anyway,
James,
guys,
thanks.
Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for your interaction. Give this video a like. We're going to be doing several of these over the coming weeks, so make sure you have a watch of those as well. And we'll be back very soon. So take care.